Donald Trump is reposting this message from Nancy Mace saying Donald Trump will protect women, with an emoji of a woman dancing. This as Donald Trump is giving speeches talking about the size of golf players' penises in locker rooms. That's what Donald Trump's been talking about. Now, more on that in a minute. Also, Donald Trump's website is posting things like this. The Never Surrender 10-year vintage Pinot Noir is for sale because, let's face it, it's always a grift. Folks, the early vote numbers are coming in good in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan. A little slower than I think Democrats would like in Nevada. So in terms of early voting, it's critical to early vote. But it seems that Pennsylvania is going very, very well right now for Democrats. That is, of course, pissing Donald Trump off. Donald Trump then posting this again. Just take a look at what he's posting again. Donald Trump posts, January 6th will go down in history as the day the government staged a riot. Donald Trump, you were the government then. And here he is just spreading January 6th conspiracies. This is someone who is an authoritarian and a dictator. I mean, look what he's posting too. And Donald Trump posts images of himself like this with his hands up. I mean, just look at how he views himself, this godlike complex like a dictator. And he's saying that he is going to send the military against American people who don't agree with him. I mean, he's saying it out loud. If that's not a red alert, I don't know what to tell. No, what else to tell you. Then Donald Trump posts this. He and Elon Musk is now like giving $1 million a day to people who register to vote for like Donald Trump right now. And then Donald Trump's posting messages from Elon Musk. I mean, again, see what's happening here. A billionaire oligarchical class, like the type that Putin has in Russia, wants to take away all of your rights and steal all of your money and establish the Russian-style oligarchy here. That's what they're trying to do. It's right in front of your face. And then Donald Trump posts the vote against the machine, Elon Musk. And the machine's supposed to be Kamala? The heck are we talking about here? This is Donald Trump's interview from earlier in the day with Fox, and the Fox host had to acknowledge, after the interview, Donald Trump went to talk about people's genitals. I mean, think about that. That's where we are in this election. That Fox says, after our interview wrapped up, Donald Trump left to speak about genitals. Play the clip.
Being down with us here at Trump Tower.
Thank you very much. It's been fun. Thank you, Alan.
After our interview, Donald Trump flew to Pennsylvania, Arnold Palmer's hotel, where he discussed the golfer's signs of his manhood, dismissed Kamala Harris with a curse word, and asked the old Reagan question, are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? The vice president was in Atlanta, where she made the case for abortion rights, said Trump lacked compassion, and was joined by the family of a Georgia woman who died because she didn't receive proper medical care due to abortion restrictions. After the break, Bret Baier.
And of course, you've seen the clip now where Donald Trump did that. Let's play the clip.
This is a guy that was all man. This man was strong and tough. And I refuse to say it, but when he took showers with the other pros, they came out of there, they said, oh my God, that's unbelievable. I had to say it.
And let's not forget the moment where Donald Trump was interviewing with Stormy Daniels or when Stormy Daniels was on Jimmy Kimmel talking about Donald Trump's you-know-what. Let's play it.
Oh, is this the one?
It's another.
And that's not the only time that Donald Trump has been talking about these things. Here he was just the other day as well, saying the following about Harvey Weinstein. Let's play it.
It's interesting. I was so amazed that Harvey Weinstein got schlonged. He got hit as hard as you can get hit because he was sort of the king of the woke, right? Yeah. And yet he got hit. And I figured that maybe he wouldn't get hit so hard. But boy, did he get, you don't know him well, I don't know him well, but I watched that and it was amazing. So
Donald Trump's asked on this Fox interview this morning about the lies that Haitian migrants are eating dogs and eating cats. And Donald Trump still goes and says, I think that's what happened. How do we know about the goose and the geese? Here, play it.
Those things.
Your famous line about Springfield, Ohio, and I take your point that 15 to 20,000 legal Haitian immigrants settling in that area causes a lot of friction. But when you said, and you know it's gone viral, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. You say you're just reporting what had been said, But why not say now, well, look, that turned out not to be true.
I don't know if
Here's
it's
my
not true.
board of
I don't know if it's true or not true. I read
Eating
something.
the pets, you don't know if it's true or not true? It's been debunked by
Well,
local
they say,
officials.
what about the geese? What about the geese? What happened there? They were all missing. I don't
There was
know.
one
Listen,
guy with
Howie,
two geese.
Howie, I have no idea. I said something.
And then even the Fox host had to do a fact check of Trump's lies mid-interview. Let's play it.
I've ever had.
To clarify, police did not usher protesters into the Capitol. They were totally overrun, though in some cases they may have beaten a tactical retreat. Donald Trump continues to argue, as you know, that the last election was rigged, though that's never been proven in any of the lawsuits filed. Up next.
Donald Trump then says he doesn't respect our generals as soldiers and never did. This is coming from someone who's dodged the draft. Let's play it.
General Jim Mattis, who was your Secretary of Defense, has now joined General Mark Milley, who was your Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, in saying, this is their quote, you are the most dangerous person ever. I assume you'd like to respond.
Well, they were not my cup of tea. They were woke. You know that. They were not great generals, in my opinion. I was asking them advice. I didn't agree with the advice. Look at the advice that Milley gave to Biden on Afghanistan. Move the soldiers out first. No, you have to move the soldiers out last. I don't respect them as soldiers. I never did. I fired them both.
And Donald Trump says that January 6th is a day of love, and that everybody was having a great time. Here, play this clip.
I don't think so. They had no guns. They had no guns.
So
that was a peaceful.
So you're comfortable
peaceful
with a
and
day of
patriotic.
love?
No.
You wouldn't modify that?
I'm talking about when I made that speech, I've never seen anything like it. They came down to protest a rigged election. Very simple. They protested an election. And you know what? I think you have the right to protest in this country.
And here, once more, he's asked a softball question about January 6th, and watch how he answers.
The other day you called it a day of love. That sparked a lot of reaction, given that many police officers were attacked and there were mobs shouting, "Hang Mike Pence." Can you understand why many Americans would view it as a dark and tragic day in our history?
The crowd I spoke before, which you rarely see, I have pictures of it, massive, but nobody wants to put them in. It was the biggest crowd I've ever spoken to, and I've spoken to the biggest crowds. I've never seen that many people. A small group of them, and you know, peacefully and patriotically, which nobody uses. My words were peacefully and patriotically. A small group went down to the Capitol, but they came because they thought it was a rigged election. This was a protest against a rigged election, and I can't say exactly the number, but I've had massive crowds, and this was by far the biggest crowd. I've spoken to the crowd at the Washington Monument and the Lincoln Memorial on the 4th of July. This crowd was bigger. And I tell you, there was a beauty to it and there was a love to it that I've never seen before.
But Mr. President,
a small group of people went down to the Capitol, and then a lot of strange things happened. And
He then says that Vladimir Putin might not be an enemy. Play the clip.
the outside people, the so-called enemies, if they're enemies, and they might not be enemies, if you have a smart president, they can be handled. But when you have people investigating my campaign, when you have people, you know, they spied on my campaign now. You understand that. That's been proven. But they spy on your campaign. The Russia hoax was all made up, and now it's acknowledged that it was made up. All of these different things. You have the 51 different agents saying it was from Russia, and now they all say it wasn't from Russia. Okay, so we were lying. Many other things, many. I could go, you just don't have enough time. But what they've done is so terrible. Who's ever heard of anything like this? Adam Shifty Schiff, he's a crooked guy. He's a crooked politician, 100%. And he's going to be a senator now. Can you believe it?
But again, he's a political opponent of yours,
he's
but is he an enemy?
No, of course he's an enemy. He's an enemy.
And once again, he talks about the enemy from within and sending the military against American citizens. Play this clip.
You talk about the enemy within. There's enemies, America's enemies outside. The enemy within is a pretty ominous phrase if you're talking about other Americans.
I think it's accurate. I think it's accurate.
Who are you talking about? Who's
And,
the enemy?
you know, I heard that. They say, oh, the enemy.
Now, contrast that to what Vice President Kamala Harris is doing earlier in the day. It's her birthday today, so happy birthday, Vice President Kamala Harris, right here. Here's what she said at this church event. Play this clip that she was at in church services in Georgia. Let's play it.
From the earliest stages of our lives, had those moments where it has been revealed to us our power. And we should never let anyone take our power from us or in any way try to convince us we are powerless. And so I say, as we move forward, let us look at where we are and understand the lesson of the Gospel of Luke. Because right now, each of us has an opportunity to make a difference. In this moment, our country is at a crossroads, and where we go from here is up to us, as Americans and as people of faith. And now we ask a question. We face this question. What kind of country do we want to live in? A country of chaos, fear, and hate, or a country of freedom, compassion, and justice? And the great thing about living in a democracy is that we, the people, have the power to answer that question. So let us answer, not just through our words, but through our action and with our votes. When we come across our brothers and sisters in need, let us, as the Good Samaritan did, see in the face of a stranger a neighbor. And let us recognize that when we shine the light in moments of darkness, it will guide our feet into the path of peace. And let us remember that while weeping may endure for a night, joy cometh in the morning. Thank you. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you all very much.
And I think what's so important about this election, as we always say here, is the importance of like character and values. And Donald Trump makes that, and former President Barack Obama makes it clear as well. Let's play it.
One of the most disturbing things about this election, about Trump's rise in politics, we seem to have set aside the values that so many of us were taught. A few weeks ago, one of the deadliest hurricanes in American history. President Biden, Vice President Harris, they're down meeting with local officials, comforting families, making sure aid is in place. Donald Trump and his running mate made up stories about the Biden administration withholding aid, giving it to undocumented immigrants, not giving it to Republicans, just making this stuff up. Even Republicans on the ground, even MAGA Republicans on the ground, said it wasn't true. So my question is, when did that become okay? How can it be okay?
And let me just show you what Vice President Kamala Harris is sending right now in Georgia around. These are the types of ads that people are getting, and this kind of resonates with me. Let's play it for you.
My name is Pauline. I'm from Georgia. I voted for Trump in 2016. In 2024, I will be voting for Kamala Harris because I want to see our democracy survive. Kamala Harris is a very competent, very smart woman who I feel has the strength and the ability to lead us. I think she will do a wonderful job. I feel that she is aligned more with what the true American people want, not what the 1% wants, but what true Americans need. The amount of support that has come behind her is wonderful. I feel that Tim Walz being brought on, after listening to him, I didn't know a lot about him before they announced him, but then after doing my research and listening to him, his beliefs actually aligned very close to mine in that, you know, I'm going to do what I believe, but what you do in your home is your business. It's not my business.
As we finish up this video too, I just want to give a shout out right now, if I may, to Wayne McLeod out there. Here he is right here. He's the biggest Meidas fan, and just want to, and a photographer. And so I just wanted to say what's up, Wayne. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million subscribers. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.